Ok. Bienvenue. Merci d'être venu. Je m'appelle Andreas, je viens de la Norvège. En fait, j'ai habité à Paris il y a 20 ans. J'ai étudié à Télécom Paris. Je faisais un Erasmus. Là, et puis, je faisais mon master à Polytechnique. Mais il y a longtemps, donc mon français n'est pas très bien. Mais pour la présentation, je vais changer à l'anglais. All right. So, yeah, today I'm going to talk about Multivendor Multisig. It's a mouthful, but I'm sure you are familiar with the terms. So, multisignature, I'm sure you know, but there's an added layer of security that you can have through using different vendors for the key signing and key generation. So just a quick recap of what Bitcoin is. It's a bearer instrument. So, to generate private and public keys, you start with a random number. You use the private key through the elliptic curve to get a public key and an address. So, like, if someone can guess your random number, they can steal your Bitcoin, basically. And a key is 256 bit, and like the odds of guessing a private key it's basically impossible. But that might not be the problem, that people are guessing private keys. A more common scenario is that you devise a very smart plan to hide your keys or save the keys. So this guy in England, I think he saved his private keys on like a USB stick or hard drive, and he encrypted it. Oh no, sorry, that's not the story. This one had his private keys on a computer, and he threw it away like maybe 10 or 12 years ago because it wasn't worth anything, right? But now there's I don't remember how many, maybe like hundreds of Bitcoin, I don't know, but so now he's trying to get access to the landfill where we threw away the computer, so we can try to retrieve it. This is the story I started with. So I think this guy saved his private keys on a USB stick and he encrypted it, and he doesn't remember the password. And now after 3 attempts, it gets bricked, basically. So I think he has 1 or 2 left. So that's another story from the many years ago. So, but nowadays people use hardware wallets most of the time. So I'm sure you recognize some of these. Ledger is a popular one. I think it's French even. Cold Card Trezor, Jade, Bitbox. There's some closed source, some are open source. There's a lot of options. And we have different types of wallets. So we can split them into hot wallets and cold wallets. Hot wallets are basically always online, which makes them less secure. But of course, it's very practical when you want to spend your Bitcoin, that you don't have to, find a hardware device and plug it in. Or so for smaller amounts, this can be fine. Cold wallets we can split into air-gapped and non-air-gapped. So air-gapped, there's like air between the device and the internet. While non-air-gapped would be you connected with a cable, basically. So in terms of security, the highest we can think of is air-gapped, because like the moment you connect like a USB cable to a computer that is connected to the internet, you're not really in control of what's going on. While I'm going to show you some devices later where you can actually see what data is transmitted. So like the different wallets have different use cases, like, and depending on like the amount you want to store and how long you want to store it, how easy it should be accessible. There's different options. But back to signatures. So a single signature. So you basically have one key, and it allows you to spend. So multi-signature is that you have a quorum, M of n signatures are required. So this is a pretty normal setup where you require 2 or 3 keys. You can have another setup that's like 5 or 9, or you can basically do whatever you like. But of course, the more keys, the more complexity, and the more stuff you have to actually, save in a proper way. So advantages of a multi-signature. The advantage is that if you lose that one key, it's not the end of the world, because you have more than one, right? So if one is compromised, it's not good, it's not ideal, but at least you still have access to your coins. You can also distribute ownership. So like for a company, for example, it might make sense that there's no single point of failure. It's not like the CTO can just run away with the coins. Like multiple people have to sign to spend. And of course, there's human error, like we saw some examples, so that you lose your keys, you store them in a way that is not accessible. But of course, there's also disadvantages. It's more complexity, as I mentioned. There's more information to store. There's more keys to secure. So that might be a challenge for beginners. And if you do a mistake, there's like no Bitcoin support to call. You might really mess up. The company example, so it's an advantage that you can spread like the ownership on multiple employees, but that's also can be a disadvantage, because there's more cooperation involved to actually sign a transaction. So it's like both positive and negative in some sense. And the last thing is that multi-signature is not like fully supported. It's getting better and better. There's some standards. So that's another thing to consider. And if you have any questions, just ask them. So about what I mean with multi-vendor. So instead, like say you have a 2 or 3 setup, instead of getting 3 hardware wallets from the same vendor, you can actually get one from, let's say, Cold Card, another one from Trezor, and the third one from Jade or Ledger. Because then you kind of spread the risk, right? So the supplier risk, because if there's like in the supply chain, if there's like a breach, it doesn't affect all your wallets, right? All your hardware wallets. Maybe one of them gets compromised, but it's not the end of the world. Of course, like there's hardware risk and software risk that you can kind of mitigate by spreading them out on multiple vendors. And as I will show you, like different hardware wallets have different pros and cons. So in terms of how simple they are to use, so you can kind of mix and match and choose like something that works for you. Yes?
You can also use one of the vendors to be a software wallet if you want.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not mandatory to have all a hardware wallet.
That's true, and I'm going to demonstrate later, and that's exactly what I'm going to do there. Because a software key is, it might not like be safe, but it's not. It's just one of multiple keys, right? So that's definitely a possibility. And then it's actually kind of, you can think of it as a bit user-friendly, because then you always have one key available readily, and you have to maybe retrieve like the second or third key to sign. So, and back to some risks with just using one vendor. This is from Ledger. I don't think anyone has hacked the wallet, but they hacked the customers, like the list of the customers, right? And so the hackers created fake ledgers and just sent out to hundreds of people, asking them to, please, there's something wrong with the original ledger we received. Please enter your, 12 or 24 words in this one. And And there have been some like physical, like if you have physical access to the hardware wallet. This is from KeepKey. It's an old hardware wallet, so I don't think it's a problem anymore. But the Trezor one also was hacked. I don't think the newest Trezor has been hacked, but like if someone has like physical access to your hardware wallets, you never know. There's some other attacks. I don't know if you remember this Dark Skippy. So if someone managed to get you to install like a hacked firmware, they could make you leak your private keys in the transaction data. So after, if you did like 2 or 3 transactions, they were able to scan them and actually retrieve the private keys. So, and of course, like all hardware will fail eventually. So this is a friend of mine. He had a ledger. He had it in his safe deposit box for like 4 years, and he kind of forgot about it. And then, you know, the price goes up, and oh, I just still have some Bitcoin, and he plugged it in, and the screen was just broken. So, but fortunately, he had his 12 words, so he was able to. I think he bought another hardware wallet, but he just entered his words, and he could access his Bitcoin. So yeah, so what I'm going to do now is to demonstrate how to set it up, because when I started to learn about this, it was kind of intimidating because it seemed complicated. But then I realized that I don't have to like do real transactions on the main net, right? We have a SIGNet, we have testnet, but also regtest, which is perfect for developers. You can just run it on your own computer, and it doesn't matter if you make a mistake. You just start over, you reset the blockchain, and you start mining. So that's pretty cool. Any more questions before I start showing the this? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Sparrow Wallet as a coordinator, and I'm going to set up a 203 multisig. So I have the seed signer. This is a Raspberry Pi cold wallet. It's air gapped, so you communicate by scanning QR codes, basically, meaning that you can actually see what's being sent, what kind of data is being sent. And there's the Bitbox. So this is open source. Bitbox 02 is open source, I think. This is a Swiss company. It's a cold wallet, but it's non-air gap. So you use it's a USB cable. And the last key, as we talked about, is a software key that I'm just going to generate in Sparrow. So let's see.
So you can use the regtest for all the hardware you are using. You have regtest compatibility
yes.
for the hardware.
Yeah. So you just have. So this one you have to go into the menu. I will show you. And
okay. Yeah.
Turn on regtest, and this one you just start it in.
I'm wondering about testnet v4 because I think it's best to use now.
Yeah.
And are they also compatible to testnet v4?
I haven't actually tried that because when I did this research, it was kind of hard to get coins on the testnet.
To KYC testnet v4.
Yeah. So I haven't done this on testnet. I've
because,
just
for instance, Yana do not support testnet v4. They don't want to have the support of that. It's quite complicated to do some tests before. Right. So we have to do some tests with Signet. But I think it will be a good thing that we can use testnet v4 more widely. Yeah. Because regtest it's okay, but for real thing, I think we are in remote people. You want to have a network for sure. Yeah.
No, but I think like for this kind of just to learn about multisig, regtest was fine. All right. So I made. So I have a Bitcoin Core on my computer. So I'm gonna start. I made a shell script just to don't have to type all the commands. So first let's start Sparrow. And you can see like in yellow, that's the actual commands that are run. So it's basically, I'm just opening Sparrow, but I'm passing an argument saying regtest. And then, that's on another screen. Okay, I'm gonna just duplicate the screen here so it's easier. All right, so yeah, so then what we do is we create a new wallet, Paris. Are you all familiar with Sparrow from before?
Yes.
Yeah, so like policy type is multisignature. I don't know if I can get this bigger. I'm not sure if you're able to see or not, but yeah, you just come closer if you can't see. But basically, here you can, how many signers you need. So you can even have like, I don't know what's the maximum here. It's yeah.
Yeah, but if you put too much, then it's okay.
Yeah, it's complicated.
Problem with interactive.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna. So for this Raspberry Pi, I'm just using like a battery. This one I bought from Cold Card. So that's pretty nice. You don't have to connect it to a computer. Start it up.
I think the max number of signer in Multisig used to be 16, if I remember well, but maybe it changed. With Taproot, it's definitely unlimited, but it used to be like regular pay-to-script hash. I think it was 15 or 16. Yeah.
So this is a pretty neat application on the Mac. I can show what's in front. So it starts up in mainnet. So if you want to do testing, you should go to settings. You have advanced, I think, Bitcoin network, and here we have testnet and reg test. So we do it like that. So now we have to add the keys. So we can do the software key first. So let's use the 24 words, and I have a. Let's see. Did I make a script for that? Oh, maybe I didn't. Okay. But we can go to this. Let's see. Ian Coleman webpage. Here. So here you can. I don't know if you know this, but you can generate seeds. So let's take this one.
Hey.
Hey. No problem.
Tu vas fêter la plage. C'est ça.
Ça va, t'as pas trop chaud?
Ouais, la marche. Il vient pas. Non, il est pas là. Il est parti.
All right, welcome. So I'm setting up a multisig wallet. So now I'm going to add the. So I'm just just for testing. Perfect. I don't know if I would use it like for live key generation, at least not on a computer that's online.
JavaScript key generation, what could go wrong?
So I just paste it in here, create key store.
You could use the bacon seed or
Yeah,
zebra seed.
the bacon. Yeah, that's good.
Zebra,
So let's just write software here. So now the second key.
P49 passphrase.
Yes.
We can use so for so this one supports seed QR, which encodes a private key in a QR code. So this one I actually made as a here. So then we air gapped.
A quick question.
Yeah.
On what you type? Redtest.sh.
No, this is no.
This is something custom you've made.
Yeah, I made a shell script.
What's in behind?
It's this is no, I just found I think it was a Rust or Golang project that creates these. Yeah,
Okay, so you just input the seed and then it gives you the QR.
No, it generates the seed as well.
generates the
Yeah,
seed,
and like I wouldn't use it for live or mainnet key generation, but for testing it's fine.
Okay.
So let's go back to this one. It's always a bit tricky to. I don't know if you can see this, but so what you do here is that you start with. Let's take it a bit closer here. Scan. So then you're going to scan a seed QR. Go back here. And now, if we do. So here you get the fingerprint, and you're done. So now it saves the private key in memory. But as soon as I unplug it, it doesn't persist the private keys.
And the fingerprint should be written down also.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
once
you can do that.
With this device,
Mm.
once you scan again, if you don't have the same fingerprint, then
Yeah, something is wrong. Yeah, so it's a good idea to write down the fingerprint for sure. And then we do export XPub, and we choose multisig, native segwit, and here Sparrow. Oh, sorry, Sparrow is there, and it's just like a warning that this is a privacy leak. So you know, if someone gets the XPub, they can generate all your addresses. And then a QR code. This is like an animated QR code. And then we go back to Sparrow. And here I chose air gap. Then we have there, yeah. We scan. And there we are. So now we have the second key. And the third key is from the Bitbox 02. This one I already set up because it's like the first time you have to create the key here, but I've done that already.
So on the big box, you can only manage one seed by one seed, and then you need to wipe it down in order to import another one.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I don't know this.
Isn't it the case of any other wallets? Do you have hardware wallets where you can have?
Yes, it's I know.
Oh yes,
because
Signer.
you just have to scan another QR.
Yeah, but
Yeah, like
Signer is kind of.
also you scan a new QR.
And cold card, you can do that with different passphrase. So you get the same seed, and then you just switch wallets from wallets with another passphrase or.
Yeah, but that's in both cases. That's kind of not cheating. That's what not what I mean. But seed signer anyway that's stateless.
Yes.
So yeah, you can load a seed different seed anytime. And cold card, yeah, that's kind of a big 39 trick, but it's the same seed.
Yes.
Mm.
And in cold card, you need to wipe the seed in order to import a new one. You cannot import more than one seed.
Any other wallet?
Yes. That's weird, because we could do that.
Oh no.
Maybe it's due to the secure element or something like that.
Right, so now I connected the Bitbox, I unlocked it, so now I can import the key store. There we are. So now we have the software key, the seed signer key, and the Bitbox. So we can apply. I don't need a password. And this part is really important. So this is basically the output descriptor for like the full multisig wallet. So if you lose this, it's going to be hard to retrieve. Like if you lose this and one of the keys, it's going to be impossible to spend because then you don't know which addresses to spend from, basically. So that's maybe like another piece of information that you don't really think that you have to store. Another thing is that it's kind of like a privacy issue, like if you lose it, because then people can see how much coins you have. But it's nice. You can save it as a PDF. It generates a QR code for you. So, but it's really important to take care of it properly.
Can you export the PDF to see what the outcome?
Yeah.
Can you export the PDF? Yes.
Sure.
Thank you.
I think it's basically the string plus.
So basically, what it means is the output descriptor.
Yeah.
If someone steals it, then you can see your expert.
Yeah, they can generate all the addresses you use. So what's encoded here is basically this string down here. Yeah. So
Nice
it's
to have it already
yeah.
formatted for you.
Yeah.
And what's the best practice to store it and because it's a PDF, so you store it clear. You
it's
cipher
not.
it. What do you do with that?
I just print it out and
Offline,
print it, have it offline.
in case of flood or fire or whatever.
Yeah.
You print it with what printer?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
You
another.
printer.
Yeah, that's another rabbit hole, I guess.
Yeah, the
Printing.
descriptor
Yeah.
is a drawback for multisig.
Yeah.
We cannot do without it,
Mm.
but I don't like it.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, like if you have all the 3 keys, you can recreate the wallet,
Yeah.
right? But like part of the redundancy is that
Yeah, and if
you're
it's a
supposed to.
multisig, 14 of 16, for example, then to recreate that,
Yeah,
it's pain.
True.
It's the order matter or not for the 3 wallets?
Yes, it does, and I think
Or if
it
it's
sorts
dynamic,
it some. Yeah, I think it sorts it automatically. I think you can override the sorting, but maybe not in Sparrow. But the order is.
I don't think that's a good idea to override
No.
sorting.
It's another complexity, you know. Yeah. So.
No, you should never sort them. You should always sort
Yeah.
them with sorted multi, never use multi. Because if you use multi, the issue is now you absolutely need to get the right order for the Xpub
Yeah.
you put inside. And also by default, most of the software wallet implementations, they assume that you use sorted multi.
Mm.
Like Electrum, for example, was making this kind of assumption without saying it explicitly. So for sometimes when you use the Bitcoin Core to do the multisig, you could not use it with Electrum because you didn't have the sorted multi descriptor in Bitcoin Core. So we are like, okay, doesn't work. Half of the address was wrong. You're like, okay, great.
You can use Electron with Bitcoin Core.
Yeah, right. But I mean,
There are many other reasons that you actually can't use Electron with Bitcoin Core. Actually,
Yeah.
you can't use Bitcoin Core with anything else.
Mm.
yeah. So
Yeah, no, it's a
always sorted multi,
multi here,
never
yeah.
never something else.
But who is still using Electron?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We're all nuts. I heard.
Last time they tried to make a lightning node and it doesn't get well because there was Sparrow at the same time. Killed by open source.
No, but seriously, that document I think is interesting because that's a shame that Salvatore is not here today because he wrote some scheme about keeping track like of those Xpubs, those public information, because that's really a big risk that people tend to underestimate with multisig is, oh, you have like 2 private keys out of 3, but you lost the first
this
key,
one.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then you're totally fucked. So there are some discussions going on about some standardized scheme to save that in a more like encrypted manner, so that any participants which have access at least to 1 key, if I remember well, can like decipher the whole thing.
Right. All right, so then we have set up the wallet, and now we can do some transactions and signing to see that it actually works. So then I have my shell script here. So here I'm starting Bitcoin daemon, and I just create a data directory that saves the reg test data. And then I have made like a setup script that this one creates a wallet for the miner and just mines 101 blocks. Does anyone know why I mine 101 blocks?
Maturity.
Yeah, exactly. So it takes 100 blocks for coins, the Coinbase, to mature. So if we do balance now, we'll see that it should have
Yeah, we're rich.
50 Bitcoin the miner has. But and like each time I mine a new block, he will get 50 more. Yeah. All right. So let's try to send some coins to this Paris wallet. So I'm just going to copy an address. I think it was, let's see, send, I think. Yeah, send. Yeah, so it's just a send to address and sending 1 million sats. And then we can connect this, let's see, here. Yeah. And there we can see a notification, so now there's 1 million sats in the mempool. And we can see it here is unconfirmed.
So you are already signed directly into Sparrow without any signing physically on the devices?
Yeah, no, I'm just receiving.
Ah, it's just...
Yeah,
okay.
so I haven't started signing yet. So
Okay.
it's in the mempool. We can mine a few blocks, so it gets confirmed. There. And yeah, now it has one confirmation. So now we can try sending back to the miner, and then I'm just going to get an address. Yeah, receive. So this is the next available address from the miner. So we go on send, pay to test one, 500,000 sats, create transaction, finalize, and now you'll see that because we set up 203, so you see like these two bars. Those are the signatures. So if I sign, it will always choose the software because it's readily available. So when I press sign, it'll sign with the software key, and now I can choose. So either Bitbox or the seed signer. So that's Bitbox popped up because it's connected. So let's do that first. Sign. So I'm gonna go back to this. It's kind of finicky, but I hope you're able to see here. And now the first time you want to sign, it will register like I think it will register like the output descriptor for the whole thing, so you can understand like that the change is coming back to your own wallet and stuff like that. So.
I think it's also to check the receiving address. Like when you want to check that the receiving address are correct for your multisig,
yeah.
You actually want your hardware. If you rely on your hardware wallet to show you the right address,
Yeah.
Then you need to actually check on the hardware wallet that all the xpub that of the other signer are right, and then if you rely on the hardware wallet to say okay, the address derivation is correct, so and the change is correct too for the transaction, then you need the hardware wallet to actually be able to get this information. It's not only to register the information, it's also to be able to for the wallet to say to you, okay, this is your change.
Yeah.
This address is correct. I derive it from the xpub you
exactly,
saw me,
yeah.
and you actually validate on the wallet that was the right xpub, so you can be sure now that the address I show you, the address of change are correct.
So it's basically the hardware wallet needs this to be able to.
Yeah, exactly. For sometimes, for example, only the call card at first was the wallet that actually performed this kind of check. Now all the wallet like Bitbox 2 and most of the others too.
Yeah.
And there was a time where, for example, you could do some multisig with Ledger, but you didn't have any validation of the key, so you could not use the ledger to check the addresses. And so if you're like a normie and you are afraid of the virus on your computer and you don't want to rely on your computer to show you the right addresses to receive money, then you would have to perform all those tasks, and actually few wallets supported it before, but now hopefully it's like as you said, Salvatore with the initiative of wallet policies actually pushed for the standardization of this kind of process too.
So yeah, here that's happening. So it will register the Paris wallet, and you can check the data here. So you see like the co-signers, and you can you can check that actually it's correct. So that's great.
It's a great UX.
That's really nice. Yeah.
There we are.
It's like buttons or just touch?
Touch. Yeah. So yeah, spend from the 203, Paris. So we're sending 500,000 sats. that's correct. And this is the address. We should check. I'm not going to do that now. And then this is the fee, 189 sats.
And a question on the fees. Then
Yeah.
if you spend from multi-sig wallet, is it the same fees as from single sig wallet? Or it should be
No,
more
it is a
because
bit
you have
more.
inputs?
Yes, I think because you pay for the bytes and
Yeah.
it's a bigger transaction. Yeah.
I knew the answer.
Yeah.
But
All right. Transaction confirmed.
You need the microphone for that.
So now both of them are the keys have signed, so we can broadcast it. So, and it pops up in the mempool immediately. So now we have unconfirmed 500,000 and 189 sats going out of the wallet, and then we can mine another block, and there we are. It's confirmed. So let's do one more with the seed signer. I'm going to get another address from the miner to send it back to. $350,000 sats. And as before, when I press sign, it would just use the software key because it's there. We press cancel, and now we have to use this QR way of communicating. So I'm going to show this is a PSBT, and then I can go here and see. So we have the seeds. So this was the one we generated earlier. Scan PSBT. And then let's see. So I think this visual here is really cool with the animation and everything. So 350,000 sats. You can see like where they are going and the change. And here as well, you can actually, so you have like a math equation. It's really nice. And you see how many sats you get back. And yeah, you can verify the address, and it kind of highlights the, is it 7 first and last digits. And here you can, as we were discussing, here you can verify the multi-sig change. So that's pretty cool as well. I'm not going to do that now, but it's a possibility. And then you sign it. And then this is a signed PSBT, so now I have to scan it. Here. Scan QR. There we are.
As PSP.
Yeah.
QR code forever.
So now we have signed with the software and the seed signer, and we can broadcast it. There we are, it's in the mempool. Right, and just mine a few blocks. There we are, and it's all confirmed. So I found this pretty neat to just play around and test, and without risking real Bitcoin on mainnet. So if you mess up, you just reset. I just delete the data directory, and I can start over, and you can try with different vendors. And
so are there any hardware wallets that aren't good for doing this kind of multisig, or is the interoperability pretty much figured out across most hardware wallets?
Maybe you know more about that than me, but I know that it's been improving steadily, the support for this over the years. So.
And also we have multiple use cases for that. You tell before that we have the multi-party not in the same place, but also a use case for personal use to secure the thing. But in this case, how do you secure your seed? And where you put it, because the security is on the seed. So if you leak the seed, you have a problem. So for multi-party, it's okay because the seed are backup in separate place. But if you are doing that for yourself because you want to secure your thing, how do you?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense to store all the 3 keys in the same location, right? So you probably have to distribute it geographically. Yeah, but it's more.
It's a problem to how to save the seed. So
it's more complicated for sure. So
and you have the PDF also to back up somewhere.
Yeah. So there's some. No, it's true. I guess you could say it's more secure, but it's also more complex, and so it's like you have to weigh the pros and cons. And I guess like also the amount if you store like 100 euros, you're not gonna. This is cost more than like, or this is. I think you can get it for like 50 or 60 euros.
Seed signers?
Yeah.
Little more maybe in the case and all the time you put to a sample and maybe 100.
Yeah, maybe 100. So it really depends on the amount you want to save.
And it requires PI 0.
Yeah, this is 0 v1.3.
Yes,
I think they're making a new one now.
Rare now. It's quite hard to acquire PI 0 without wireless. And if you have one with wireless, I think you need to desolder the wireless chip in order to not leak your data with some wireless attacks and stuff.
But maybe for like companies with hundreds of bitcoins that want to mitigate the risk of like a single point of failure.
But for an individual, depends.
Yeah.
To be honest, maybe it's overkill, but it's nice.
Yeah. At least I find this a really nice way to test and just play around with it to learn. Just use reg test on your computer.
And it may improve in the future as well, so who knows?
But actually, talking about overkill, is air-gapped nowadays really more secure than non-air-gapped hardware wallets? What does it improve exactly? If you have like a Ledger or Bitbox, all the seed signer or cold card which are air-gapped, are they better, more secure?
I think that's like
for in general, but in general or for multisig in particular, I don't know.
I think for multisig you don't necessarily need air-gapped, but for an individual it's better because you have only one seed to secure. So if it's air-gapped, normally it's better, but stateless is even better. But then you need to store your QR.
But I think that like when you use multisig, it doesn't like if you have one that is air gapped and another one that is not, you can kind of mix and match. So then you kind of mitigate it. Like the whole problem is not that big of an issue anymore. I think if it's safe or not because you have multiple keys. Even like, of course, you should store them as safely as possible, but I don't know because I've been following like Coldcard. They are very adamant about it should be air gap, but some other vendors are like, yeah, but it's like you say, might not be a big difference at the end of the day. So because like I think it's a pretty cool project, but it's kind of the scanning the QR code is kind of slow, and you kind of have to, point it in the right place. It's much easier with a cable, obviously. You just connect it, and it's signs like that. It's much faster. While the cold card has, you can plug it in, but you can also have a micro SD card and move the PSBTs back and forth. So I guess you can just choose.
And the seed signer, the problem I had is when you assemble it, it's easy to do mistake and break it, and it's less reliable than other hardware. It's
more like do-it-yourself.
It's more do-it-yourself, and if you are not very meticulous, then it can break easily.
You mean that it's even less reliable than Ledger?
Yes,
it must be really, really, easy to break. Then.
You can build as much seed signer as you like if you have the money. So it's not a problem. The issue with this is you need to store the QR.
But actually, I think that's the real problem. But with like many years, the real issue I see with hardware wallets is actually when you show the picture with the screen, the ledger screen, which was broken. Because I heard many stories like that over the years, and I didn't have personally that problem yet, but I expect to have it at some point. That hardware wallets are actually disposable. You people are continuing like, okay, I can put it in the as your friend in a safe. Your friend just did that, and it will be there for many years, but that's simply not true. Even later, they are decaying really fast, actually.
Yeah, no, but all hardware
Code cards
will
are notoriously unreliable.
No, all hardware will break eventually. It's like nothing will last forever. Like, so you need to save the seed.
But I mean, all hardware will break eventually. But I feel that most hardware wallets are actually like breaking really fast, like in a matter of a few years.
Like 2-3 years life expectancy for a wallet is sensible. So if you use it, to me it's like the buttons or the cable or whatever.
The screen, so many things that.
And seed signer is like 1 year. You can break it so easily, the pins and stuff as well.
Thanks for this presentation. I close the video.
Yeah. All right. Thanks.